My name is Sofie. I would like to start a little bit with a question here for you. Have you ever wondered how your online orders travel halfway across the world within just days? So did you know that 90% of global trade happens via shipping? It's the lifeline of the economy. And that's why I'm here today, because that's why I chose this industry, because it's so exciting. And I hope today that I can inspire you guys as well, so that you also would love to choose this industry. And as I heard now that there's a lot of SMU students here, I guess you've probably already taken your decision then. So shipping and logistics is the lifeline of the global economy. It connects the world and ensures that us consumers have what we need, whether it be our clothes that we're wearing, the food on our table, or the gas in the pumps for our cars, right? We can't live without it, and that's why it's so much fun to work in it, right? There's always something happening 360 days of the year, 24/7. If there's something macroeconomic or geopolitical that happen in the world, the shipping and logistics industry feels it right away. And that is also what GAC is all about. It's about connecting the world. Being one of the world's leading shipping agents, we connect the world, and together also with our logistics, as we are a logistics service provider, we help companies with their supply chains. So we're actually connecting all the stakeholders. And I would like now to play a video for you guys, just so you get a little bit more of an understanding of what GAC does. It's a quite short video, so just bear with me. Oops.
For more than 50 years, GAC has been a trusted partner for a vast range of industries, delivering the vital services needed for growth. From offshore support to dry bulk shipping to pharmaceutical distribution, we help businesses get to where they need to go. Because GAC is in business for one reason: to help grow yours. As a shipping pioneer since the 50s, GAC now provides a vast array of maritime services around the globe. When you need to move cargo quickly and competitively, GAC's integrated logistics network delivers across land, sea, and air. You can harness our local knowledge and local relationships to ensure seamless flow of your cargo, plus enjoy secure and efficient storage solutions at our state-of-the-art warehousing and distribution facilities globally.
Yes, I hope that gave you a little bit more an insight of what GAC does. So I'm not going to talk so much more about the nitty-gritty of what GAC sells. You can find more on that on our web pages, because I'm not really here to give you a sales pitch today about, I'm not going to try to sell our services to you. What I want today is just to explain a little bit to you why I like this industry so much, and also why I chose it, and how I believe that it's a great place to work in. And I believe that especially when I was a student, I believe that you choose the company you want to work for. You choose it based more on what the company represents, the culture that the company has, the values that a company stands for. That's more how you choose the company. The industry you might have chosen already, but then to choose the industry, that's what you would go for. So because of that, I would like to share with you a little bit why I've been in this organization for 15 years. So yes, it's quite a long time, right? And I think for you, Jen said, you probably think that that's, wow, she's a bit of a dinosaur here. And yeah, maybe I'm a bit of a dinosaur, but I actually had a lot of fun being in this company. And as you can see here, I've been doing quite a lot of things. I am originally from Sweden, and GAC is also originally from Sweden. It was founded by a Swedish entrepreneur. But now we are a worldwide organization. We have offices around 50 ports of the world. So I've been able to travel around with the company. I started off in the Middle East. But then I came now to Asia Pacific, and now I'm in Singapore, heading up the Singapore entity as managing director here. But I actually didn't really start my career in shipping and logistics. I started it in finance, actually. So I was in Sweden working for PwC in Stockholm, and I was approached by GAC there. So I started GAC in the Middle East, in Dubai, but in the finance sector. And I believe that you don't always, I mean, you can start in another industry and then you can move your way around, because I think finance kind of is a little bit like that. You start there and then you get exposed to all the different areas of the organization. So for me, I was very interested in the different areas, and shipping, of course, kind of I was attracted to that. And I had a chance to try a lot of different areas. And now then I'm overseeing the whole organization. So it's shipping and logistics, but it's of course also the HR, the finance department, the IT department, not that much into IT, but I still oversee it, but I have some, of course, professionals that help me, specialists that help me with that. But I think what has been the most important thing to me, and what I like my job the most, I think it's the people. And you can see here, I try to illustrate that. It's just that I get to be with people every day. I can go down, I like going down to our warehouses, for instance, and talk to the warehouse staff there, because I believe if you listen to the people, you will come to know so many things from them. I think it's about having your ears to the ground. That's what makes you a good leader. And we have Desmond here today, he's standing there taking a video here. He's our health and safety and quality manager, and we usually go down to the warehouse together a lot of times and and just say hi to all the guys there. So probably I would say that that's the number one thing why I stayed in the organization so long. It's all the people there. And GAC is a lot about people. We're like a big family of 9,000 people, but that's how we try to see ourselves, as a big family. And I think that takes us back a little bit to our Swedish heritage. And that's why we're here today, right? We're here to kind of celebrate that Sweden and Singapore has something in common, like floorball. But it's also, for us, I would like to with all the Swedish companies here, I would like to also spread our philosophy a little bit and the way our corporate culture works in Sweden. So our founder, who was a Swedish entrepreneur, he set up this GAC spirit. So when he founded GAC. So when everyone joins GAC, the orientation program, part of that is actually to learn about the GAC spirit. So we encourage everyone to really tap into that. And I think if there's one thing that we want people to leave with when they leave GAC, is to remember the GAC spirit. I mean, a business you can always, a profession you can always learn, but learning core values is a bit different. You have to kind of want to live with that. So because of that, I would like to share with you a bit of these core values that we have. And one is greet everyone with a smile. So I think we all know that if we enter a room and people are smiling at us, or we are walking on the street and you meet someone who's smiling at you, right? It makes you feel quite good, right? It can still be something very important that you have to discuss in the meeting. It can even be that you actually have to be very serious in the meeting and maybe talk about something not always very pleasant even. But you can always start the conversation with a smile. And I think also you can actually leave with a smile as well. You can have been very serious in the middle so that people know that you were serious, but then walk out and still smile. So we encourage everyone to do that. And then the other one is listening in their language. I mean, we're a multinational organization, so as I said, we have offices all around the world. So we speak, of course, many different languages. But we still, whatever mode of communication that we choose, whatever language it is, whether it be English or any other language, we say listen to the people, listen to them, and respect. And I think Singapore is very much a testament of this as well, right? Because Singapore, here we have all these different cultures that kind of have come together and joined in this amazing country that we are in. So I think these are going hand in hand. Sweden and Singapore really have something in common there. So that's the second one. And then I have another one, which I really like, is to say thank you. Two very simple words, right? But what powerful words those are. If you say thank you to someone, you can go so far with that. If you encourage your colleagues or your fellow students and say thank you and give credit where credit should be given, people will be so much more motivated and they will work so much harder. It's actually very simple, and I try to teach this a lot and just tell everyone, just say thank you if it should be there, right? And then when they do that, they see how positive people will become. And that leads me to the other word that I like, say sorry. That's the other one. That can be quite difficult, right? I think we all know since we were kids that, you know, our parents said you need to say, if you took a toy from someone or something, that you have to say sorry now to the other one, and it could be a bit difficult at times. And I think that's something actually that stays with even, you know, grown-ups. That it's some things even like really, you know, like 60-year-olds, they have still a hard time saying sorry. I think if you learn that and own up to your mistakes, it also makes life a lot easier. Because in business, we have to make mistakes as well. So that means that sometimes we might have to say sorry. Because if we don't make mistakes, if we don't try things, we will never know what works, right? Because business is about trial and error. So if you're gonna do trial and error, you have to also be prepared that sometimes you make a mistake. We're all, you know, we are all just humans. We make mistakes, but own up to it and say sorry. And if the person opposite you do not accept it, I would say that's on that person. That person have to own that. You have then done what you can. And then we also have this say yes and say no. So what do I mean about that? So I mean that the Swedish way is a lot about giving people freedom and like responsibility under freedom. That sounds very nice, right? Okay, oh, you know, we delegate a lot and then you're out, you go ahead and you can do it every way you want to. That sounds very nice, but that means also that there is responsibility here, right? And there is a little bit of a decision making that the person has to take. So you have to believe in yourself in order to be able to manage that. So we encourage that, believe in yourself. And we encourage also that people should stand for what they believe in. So if you feel that something is wrong, then say, no, I don't agree on this. We encourage actually people to speak up. That's very much a Swedish way of doing things. We don't just want a lot of yes men and yes women in the organization. We actually want people's opinions. And that means that if someone sometimes might say, I don't agree to this, I don't feel like this is right, that's okay. Can be listened. It doesn't always mean maybe that you will have your way, but at least you were heard. And I think that goes back a little bit to listening as well. So I hope that I was able to inspire you a little bit about and explain a bit about the Swedish cultures and values, and so that you understand now a little bit how GAC has incorporated that as well in their organization. I would like to also touch a bit on DEI. I'm not sure, so that's diversity, equity, and exclusion. I don't know if is that something you talk a lot about in your studies, like in your seminars, or? So that's also one thing that has become quite big in recent days. And I think Singapore, again, is also very much a typical example of where it actually has worked very well. You have a lot of different diversity, a lot of different cultures and the nationalities coming together, and you then need to, of course, have a lot of inclusion. And same thing in GAC, being a multinational company, inclusion is a bit key. Because if you don't manage to get people to work well together, so that you get teamwork, then it's going to be difficult to actually be successful. So we do actually workshops in this, where we explain a little bit for our employees, our people, on how to work with this, how to ensure that everybody feels included. And that kind of brings us into how you can work with teams in that way. Another thing that I would like to bring up is mental well-being, because that's also a thing that actually Sweden has been a little bit of pioneer in. Because we've been speaking in Sweden about mental well-being for many, many years, actually. And we've been able to openly talk about it. While I think in the rest of the world, they started talking more about it after COVID. Because I think COVID, people were isolated. There was some people that were like a little bit struggling with their mental health because they felt isolated. Because we like to be in teams, right? We like to, like you are today, you're playing floorball in teams, and all of a sudden, that was a little bit taken away, or you were students and you were used to being doing your assignments together and sitting in lectures together, and all of a sudden you sat on your own. So I think everybody was affected, and everyone felt that. And offices, of course, we were working from home, everyone, and it was very difficult to get people to, still feel that team spirit. So I think that became then more of a quite hot topic after that. And we started seeing what a big emphasis it has on our employees. So that's also something that we are doing workshops also in mental well-being. So we have these like seminars or days where we talk a bit more about mental well-being. And we also ask our colleagues to help us like spot if some colleague is not doing so well, so they can help that person. We also have formed, of course we want to lead the way when it comes to sustainability, so we have formed a alliance called the Green Alley Champions, GAC. So that's here we are at this key laying ceremony for a supply vessel with Jinson, so we have a partnership with them. It's an electric supply vessel going out to the boats with supplies for the boat. So it can be food or it can be spare parts, and it's electric. So we do that as well. I think I would just like to show you a bit of a quote here. The shipping and logistics industry isn't just about moving goods, it's about connecting people, driving progress, and shaping the future. And you could be part of this incredible journey. I would like, before I leave, I would like to give you a little advice, and that is to take control of your own destiny. If you feel like you should have a promotion, I think you should go to your manager actually and say, once you start working of course, and say that you should have a promotion. Don't sit and wait for the manager to come and give you the promotion. But be sure that you have a solid grounds to say why you should be that. And then I would also like to end with another advice, and that is to listen to your heart. So why did I bring this little heart here? I believe that in work, it's all about listening to your heart, your gut feeling, and showing empathy and bringing your colleagues, your fellow students, your friends with you. If you do not have the people with you in an organization, you're probably not going to be very successful. When I joined, during my career, basically, I sometimes were a little bit too focused on the numbers because I came from a financial background, right? So when I started a little bit more understanding that it was about the people and bringing the people with, I felt that I became a little bit more successful, because the numbers will take you so far, right? If you only look at numbers, but if you have the people with you, you will get a better bottom line for sure. And why this heart came into place was because a few years back I went to this leadership management training, and they said, you before the course bring an item from your house with you, and we didn't know why we were supposed to bring it, and I was just leaving the house and I realized, oh, I need to bring this item, and this one was like in my hallways, on like a drawer that I have there. So I was like, okay, I'll bring it. I don't know why, just brought it, and I ended up actually using this one a lot. And what they told us was, once we're going through the training, you can use your item anytime you like. You can just raise your hand and say that I believe what we have talked about now symbolize my items, and you share the story about the item and how it connects to what you have learned in the class. And that's why I felt that this one was used quite a lot, because when it comes to leadership and management, it's all about bit your heart actually. It comes up a lot, so that's why it was there. So I hope I was able to inspire you a little bit. You can take the advice, you can take it or you can leave it, it's up to you. I would love for you to, if you're interested, to go in and on our webpage. We have some nice trainee programs there as well. You can read a little bit about that, and you can read more about us, and if you're interested in joining our GAC family. Okay, thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions to me? Anyone? Yes, please.
It might be a little technical, but when you talk about sustainability in maritime, how do you cope up with like regulations like EU ETS that are coming up and being more stringent, especially in Asia where it might not be as prevalent?
Exactly, yeah. So I mean, I would say that EU, of course, they've really taken a stand. They're really pushing now with the emission trading scheme that came into effect last year. And they're even pushing IMO, because IMO is not that forward actually coming. They're a little bit slow when it comes to it. So I like to see what EU is doing. But of course, this part of the world, they have not really started the legislation yet. I do really believe that we need to push this. IMO needs to be a bit more stringent. And I think also MPA could actually maybe soon start to enforcing some higher port use. So if you want to visit Singapore ports, you know, depending on what kind of fuel you have, you'll pay different prices depending on it. I mean, those are the things I think we need to maybe start doing in order to enforce the industry, because I think the industry, shipping industry is a little bit, maybe sometimes a bit conservative. Everyone is talking about it, but they have still not really decided like which should be the alternative fuel. Everybody's trying their own thing a little bit. I think Singapore is doing a great job. They're like opening up for it, and they're saying, here we are going to try to facilitate any kind of fuel that you want to use. So I think they're trying to do that, but I think we soon need to start to enforce something, because otherwise some strong ship owners, they will of course be in the forefront, and some will still wait until it's legal. You have legislation around it. So yeah, thank you. Anyone else? Any questions? Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the speech. And please, we will be down here, the GAC booth there. You see the tent there. So if you have any further questions or you just want to talk to us, you are more than welcome to join our booth.